Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss a very interesting chapter from your Grammar Magic book, and that chapter is about tenses. So today you will be able to understand the meaning of tense, and you will be able to recognize present tense, past tense and future tense in a sentence. Now, there are three kinds of tenses, that is present tense, past tense and future tense. Now the question arises, what is a tense? Tense of a verb tells us the time when the action takes place, as now indicates present tense, means an action takes place in the present. For example, Raghav plays a basketball. Now plays indicates that an action takes place in the present. That is, Raghav is playing a basketball now. Yesterday indicates past tense, means an action happened in the past. For example, Raghav played a basketball. Played in a sentence indicates that an action happened in the past. Yet to come indicates future tense, means an action that will happen in the future. For example, Raghav will play a basketball. Will play in a sentence indicates that an action will happen in the future. Now, before discussing each tense in detail, let me quickly discuss conjugation of verbs with all of you. Now, what is a conjugation of verbs? Conjugation of verbs means verbs having all three forms, that is present form, past form and past participle form. Now, here are some examples. Say is a present form of verb, said is a past form of verb and said is a past participle form of verb. Similarly, make is a present form of verb, made is a past form of verb and made is a past participle form of verb. In the same way, go, went, gone, take, took, taken, come, came, come, see, saw, seen, know, knew, known. Now, we will discuss present, past and future tense in detail. First is your simple present tense. The simple present tense is used to indicate the following, that is habits, regular events, current situations, general truths or facts. Now let us discuss some examples. He goes for a walk every day. Goes in a sentence indicates a habit of a person and an action takes place in present, so it is your present tense. The cobbler mends shoes. Mends in a sentence indicates regular event and an action takes place in the present, so it is your present tense. Moving further, he swims every day. Swims in a sentence indicates a habit of a person and an action takes place in the present, so it is your present tense. I am unwell. Am in a sentence indicates current situation of a person and an action takes place in the present, so it is your present tense. Trees give oxygen. Give in a sentence indicates general truths or facts, so it is your present tense. Now moving on to our second tense, that is simple past tense. So verbs in simple past tense indicate actions that happened in the past. Now let us discuss some examples. He worked in Dubai last year. Last year in a sentence indicates that an action happened in the past and worked is a past form of verb work, so it is your past tense. He exercised every day. Exercise in a sentence indicates past habit of a person, so it is your past tense. Children played. Played in a sentence indicates an action that happened in the past, so it is your past tense. We ate together last Saturday. Last Saturday indicates that an action happened in the past, and ate is a past form of verb eat, so it is your past tense. Matilda slept 8 hours last night. Last night in a sentence indicates that an action happened in the past, and slept is a past form of verb sleep, so it is your past tense. Richard went to Spain 2 years ago. 2 years ago in a sentence indicates that an action happened in the past, and went is a past form of verb go, so it is your past tense. Next, yesterday she visited the doctor. Yesterday in a sentence indicates that an action happened in the past, and visited is a past form of verb visit, so it is your past tense. There are some verbs, when we convert them into its past form, we will add ed at the end. But there are some irregular verbs like go, sleep, eat. We will not add ed at its end. Now moving on to our third tense, that is simple future tense. So verbs in simple future tense will indicate an action that will happen in the future. Now let us discuss some examples. First, tomorrow she will pray at the church. Tomorrow in a sentence indicates that an action will happen in the future, and will pray indicates that it is your future tense. Next, I will go for trekking tomorrow. Tomorrow in a sentence indicates that an action will happen in the future, and will go indicates that it is your future tense. I will watch television after I complete my homework. Will watch in a sentence indicates that an action will happen in the future. Now look at these sentences. I run every day. Every day in a sentence indicates that it is a habit of a person, and verb run is in present form, so it is your present tense. Second, I ran yesterday. Yesterday in a sentence indicates that an action happened in the past, and verb ran is in past form, so it is your past tense. Last, I will run tomorrow. Tomorrow in a sentence indicates that an action will happen in the future. Will run indicates that it is your future tense. Now, on the basis of what we have discussed today, let us solve some exercises. Fill in the blanks with the correct tense of verb. First sentence, Ria eat or ate her lunch in the library yesterday. Yesterday in a sentence indicates that an action happened in the past. So, we will use past form of verb, that is ate, ate. Second, I will run or ran a marathon next year. Next year in a sentence indicates that an action will happen in the future. So we will use future tense, that is will run. So answer will be I will run a marathon next year. Third sentence, I jogged or jog to school every day. Now every day in a sentence indicates a habit of a person, so we will use present form of verb, that is jog, jog. I jog to school every day. Next, we saw or will see a film tomorrow. Tomorrow in a sentence indicates an action that will happen in the future. So we will use future tense, that is we will see a film tomorrow. Next, at the end of the play last night, everyone in the audience applauded or will applaud. Last night in a sentence indicates that an action happened in the past. So we will use past form of verb, that is applauded. So at the end of the play last night, everyone in the audience applauded. Now moving on to our next exercise. Correct the tense of verb given in the following sentences. First, yesterday is my birthday. Yesterday in a sentence indicates that an action happened in the past. So we should use past form of verb. So instead of is, there will be was. So the answer is yesterday was my birthday. Next, my mother cooked food every night. Now every night in a sentence indicates a daily routine of my mother. So we should use present form of verb. So instead of cooked, cooks will come. So the answer will be my mother cooks food every night. Next, she helped him tomorrow. Tomorrow in a sentence indicates that an action will happen in the future. So we should use future tense. So instead of helped, help will come. So she will help him tomorrow. Next, my son will live in London. Now, this is the current situation. So we should use present form of verb. So instead of will live, lives come. So answer is my son lives in London. Now moving on to our next question. We played basketball last Saturday. Last Saturday in a sentence indicates that an action happened in the past. So we should use past form of verb. Instead of plays, played will come. So we played basketball last Saturday. Now moving on to our last sentence, I called him tomorrow. Tomorrow in a sentence indicates that an action will happen in the future. So instead of called, we will use future tense, that is will call. So the answer is I will call him tomorrow. Now present, past and future tense are further categorized into 4 types, that is simple tense, continuous or progressive tense, perfect tense and perfect continuous or progressive tense. You are going to learn about each tense in detail in our coming videos. So in today's session, we have discussed the meaning of tense
and how to recognize present tense, past tense and future tense in a sentence.
Now you need to revise this chapter of tenses, that includes simple present tense, simple past tense and simple future tense, and solve the exercises related to it as per the SNAP homework schedule. Thank you.